The world seemed to change overnight. Suddenly, Prince Louis gone. He was no longer seen at school events. He stopped appearing on the royal balcony. The cheerful little boy who once waved happily to crowds had vanished from public view. There were no photos, no brief sightings, no cheerful moments captured by the press. And then, just today, the palace finally released a statement, but their words only revealed part of the story. Behind that carefully written message lies a deeper history, filled with rumors, confidential reports, and one heartbreaking decision that may have altered the future of the royal family forever. Before we explore what this truly means, make sure you stay updated so you don't miss any new developments. For weeks, royal watchers had noticed something unusual. At first, it didn't seem serious. People assumed Prince Louis was simply sick or staying home, as children often do. Maybe his parents wanted to shield him from constant media attention, but as more royal events came and went, his continued absence became harder to ignore. Prince George stood confidently beside his father. Princess Charlotte appeared calm and poised, smiling as always. But the place where Prince Louis once stood was empty. There were no explanations, no official comments, not even a brief mention. Concern slowly replaced curiosity. The royal family attended several major events: the Commonwealth Day service, the Trooping the Color ceremony, and Remembrance Sunday. These occasions are deeply symbolic and carefully planned. Yet Prince Louis was absent from every single one. Each time the palace said nothing. The public, who have watched the royal family closely for generations, began to sense that something wasn't right. For an institution that carefully protects its image, the silence felt unusually loud. Questions began to spread. Was this a private family decision? Was Prince Louis facing a medical issue? Or was there something more serious happening behind palace walls? The absence no longer felt temporary. It felt intentional. Then came the moment that shocked everyone. Headlines suddenly appeared across the world. The palace released a short, carefully worded statement. It said that a decision had been made in Prince Louis' best interests and that he would be spending protected time away from public life. The words sounded calm, controlled, but to those familiar with royal history, the message raised more questions than answers. Because within royal language, phrases like a protected time often mean far more than they appear. This wasn't simply about privacy, for it suggested something serious had happened, something that could not be easily reversed. Royal history has seen moments like this before. There have been times when members of the family quietly stepped away from public life, often during periods of personal struggle. And once that distance begins, returning is not always simple. To understand how this situation developed, many observers began looking back at Prince Louis's last public appearances. One moment in particular was a familiar scene. The royal family stood together on the Buckingham Palace. Everything appeared normal at first glance, but Prince Louis seemed different. Usually full of energy and playful expressions, he stood unusually still. His hands were folded quietly. His face looked serious. His usual lively spirit was missing. At the time, few people thought much of it. But looking back now, those details feel significant. A child behavior specialist later reviewed footage from that day. She noticed several concerning signs. Prince Louis avoided eye contact. His posture appeared tense. He leaned slightly away from the crowd. These behaviors suggested emotional discomfort, not simple boredom or restlessness. Even Catherine, Princess of Wales, appeared different. Her smile remained graceful, but there were brief moments when her expression shifted. At one point, she glanced at her son with visible concern, a mother quietly checking on her child. Prince William also appeared alert. During the appearance, he briefly looked toward a palace aide standing nearby and gave a subtle nod. At the time, it seemed unimportant. Now, some wonder whether that moment signaled the beginning of Prince Louis' withdrawal from public life. Photographers later shared that they had received unusual instructions that day. They were asked to avoid close-up shots of Prince Louis. They were told not to focus on him individually. This was highly unusual. Looking back, ordinary royal tradition. It may have been a farewell. Behind the palace walls, Catherine was reportedly growing increasingly concerned. She had always been seen as calm and composed, but privately she was focused on protecting her son. Reports suggest she wrote personal letters to King Charles III and senior palace officials. In those letters, she described changes in Prince Louis's behavior. She spoke of sudden tears, emotional withdrawal, fear of cameras, moments when he isolated himself. She explained how he flinched at camera sounds and avoided interactions with palace staff. She wasn't acting as a royal figure, she was acting as a mother. Her position made things complicated. Every decision involving a royal child carries public consequences. Palace advisors warned that removing Prince Louis from public appearances could lead to speculation and media attention. They wanted stability. They wanted silence. They wanted to protect the monarchy's image. But Catherine's priority was her child's well-being. Her concern grew stronger. She reportedly declined some engagements. She pushed back against certain expectations. At one point, when Prince Louis refused to attend a scheduled event, Catherine supported his decision. This marked a turning point. Prince William, too, became deeply involved. He had been raised to respect royal duty above all else, but as a father, he faced a painful conflict. According to insiders, a private meeting was held at Clarence House. King Charles III, Queen Camilla, and senior advisors were present. Prince William brought medical reports, letters, professional evaluations. The discussion became emotional. When the situation was described as possibly temporary, Prince William reportedly reacted strongly. He defended his son. He made it clear that Prince Louis's well-being came first. He warned that forcing his son into public life could cause harm. At one point, he reportedly stated that he would rather face public criticism than risk damaging his child's mental health. This was a powerful moment. Eventually, a confidential medical evaluation provided clarity. Specialists identified signs of neurological sensitivity. They warned that high-pressure environments, crowds, cameras, and public expectations could negatively affect Prince Louis's emotional development. Their recommendation was clear. He needed time away from public life. He needed protection. Though brief reflected this decision, behind the formal words was a deeply human reality. This was not the brief reflected this decision. Behind the formal words was a deeply human reality. This was not simply about royal protocol. It was about parents protecting their child. Today, Prince Louis remains out of public view. The monarchy continues its duties. Prince George and Princess Charlotte continue their appearances. But Prince Louis's absence is deeply felt. His disappearance has reminded the world that even royal families face personal struggles. Behind the crown ceremonies and traditions are parents making difficult decisions for their children. Many questions remain unanswered. Will Prince Louis return to public life one day? Will he live a quieter life away from royal duties? Or will the full story remain private forever? Only time will reveal the answer. What is certain is this: the decision marked a significant moment for the royal family. It showed that even centuries-old traditions can be adjusted when a child's well-being is at stake. Now, people around the world continue to watch and wonder, was this decision purely protective? Or is there more to the story than the public knows? Whatever the truth may be, Prince Louis's quiet absence has already left a lasting impact on the monarchy and on everyone who has followed his story.